Hey guys, this is Aaron Spalsbury here at 3X Logic again. Today I've got a very special guest on our video series here. Lenny Nunez in our tech support department is going to be walking us through one of the common challenges that you will sometimes find on a DVR. Now, typically these types of failures will happen from things like someone pulls the power cord, or you've had a near proximity lightning strike, or any power glitch that comes into this can sometimes create the database to go out of alignment. Now, if this happens, usually the first clue here is if you come over here off to footage date and time range and you open this guy up, you may notice that you have your oldest footage, in this case, going all the way back to 916. Well, if you try to search that and it says, hey, frame not found, that means that your database has gotten out of alignment. Again, typically due to some type of a power issue. Now, since I have Lenny on the phone with us here today on the video, we're going to go through what it takes to actually repair this. So Lenny, would you mind walking us through some of these steps?
First thing we're going to do is get into our start menu, locate our database manager, which will be in the VIGIL folder, or you can also find it just by typing in, keying in database. Once you go ahead and select it, you'll need to be logging in with your system software administrative rights. Once you have access into the database utility, you're going to be primarily focusing on two sections. Tab number 2 is the data management, and then the database management tab. Tab number 2, you'll find here an option to do rebuild. So this is going to help realign the indexes of the database, making the data back to a searchable format, and hopefully preventing the frame not found issue that you're experiencing. In some cases, due to the size of storage, some of these may take quite a while. So it's always going to be a safe bet to go ahead and click on the after rebuild when the rebuild is completed. Select an option here. I would suggest to do the automatically reboot the server, because again, every system will vary based on storage times, and it could take an hour, it could take several hours. And if for whatever reason you have to leave the location, this will actually go ahead and restart the system for us once it's done, which is good because in this case, these versions of today have a tendency to not record during this process. We want to make sure that all the services are shut down and restart. We can do that by the automatic reboot. And our first key here is the rebuild. So we're going to go ahead and select that and choose our locations and then click OK.
Now, just to kind of reiterate what Lenny was just saying there, guys, keep in mind this will stop recording on this device. So if you need to put a redundant device in to record, or at least make the customer aware that, hey, this is something that will stop recording while the database is being rebuilt, please be aware of that. So make sure that you've informed them that we're not going to be recording during this time, or have taken the appropriate measures to put in a redundant device to record while we're doing a rebuild on it. Obviously, you can see this one's happening pretty quick here in terms of stopping services, but like Lenny had mentioned earlier, this could take many, many hours depending on the size of the hard drive that you have configured inside of the DVR.
During the process, as you see here, it is going to find or search for whatever files it has access to, and then it's going to purge not legitimate data, just the fragmented stuff that we can't use once it's finished with the reindexing. So we're going to lose fragmented files, partial, video that has no reference point, or a reference point with no video.
All right, guys, so you can see here now the system has completed its reboot and has finished its first initial rebuild here. So what we're going to want to do is go back into the database manager. So Lenny, go ahead and take us back into it and show us what steps we need to perform just to finish up this complete database rebuild.
I'll go back to the start menu, just keying in database, and getting logged in. Okay, so again, as the initial rebuild is finished, we just have the reset, repair, and reboot to complete. Again, picking up in tab 2 are going to be our reset options for resetting the initial footage date and the clear last scavenged folder details. So we'll go ahead and say reset to both and yes to both. We'll go ahead and move over now to the third tab, repair the index by using the run button here. This generally takes anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Once that completes, just acknowledge it, click OK to that, OK to the bottom of the utility, and then you can go ahead and do a reboot of the server once again. And that will finalize the rebuild, reset, repair, and reboot process, getting the data back to an aligned format, and hopefully eliminating the issue that was being presented when doing a playback in the frame not found, or getting the oldest footage date back to the actual footage date and time, so it doesn't overwrite early like it might be.
Excellent. So that should bring everything back to where we need to be, guys, and also have all of your statistics reset back to your initial footage date. Once you complete this, like Lenny was saying, it's always a good idea to do a complete reboot on the system just to make sure that everything is right where it is and everything should come right back. But guys, that's essentially it for rebuilding a database inside the VIGIL DVR system. We do appreciate you guys watching here today. By all means, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you want to be updated on all of these latest and greatest features, as well as some of these tech tip videos that we're going to continue to make. But thanks for watching today, guys. We'll see you on the next one.